Hey everybody, it's Lori here at A Voice in the Dark, spiritscrossing.net. Um, I wanted to talk about how you're feeling right now and some things to look for and then how to battle it. Um, the energy on Earth that is here is meant to work with us, and and that is explicit in that meaning, work with us. So, whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling down and out and you're being negative on yourself, that energy is going to bring more of what you're feeling because it thinks that's what you want. It there is no like good and bad, evil, and all that. What it is, and we do call it demons because it's we call demons the negative aspect. But the life force here, the energy that is created around us that makes our world what it um, is made to give us what we're feeling. So if you are feeling down on yourself and horrible, people are going to start treating you that way, and you're going to get more of it, and you're going to get more of it, and people are going to give you trouble at the McDonald's, or they're going to give you trouble at work, or your best friend might even give you trouble, or your mother, or your father, or your siblings, your husband or wife. I can't express this enough that it is so important right now more than any other time in the history of mankind, because it's a battle now. It's a battle to prove your worth, to ascend. It is a battle to prove whether you're good enough or not. Are you? Let me tell you something. You were good enough the moment you were thought of in Source's mind. The moment that little spark of life came to be, that's when you were forgiven for anything. That's your value. That's your worth. You didn't have to fight for God's love. You didn't have to prove anything for God's love. But there is a force here that puts you through what seems like hell to prove that you're worthy to ascend to heaven. Now, I'm not going to go through the multiple levels of heaven and blah, 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 but I am going to tell you this, that these forces, albeit they're set up for us, but now that we're ascending as a consciousness on this planet, the collective is getting hit with so much. And they call it spiritual warfare because it is a war. It's a war inside of you. Do you feel worthy of God's love? Do you feel worthy? Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what it means to love yourself? God loves you no matter what. But God does want you to love yourself. Because if you love him, her, or whoever you pray to, whoever you believe in, source, that's because that's you too. God didn't create anything without a spark of him and herself in you. Source is in you. They just wanted to experience themselves. So they split up in billions and zillions of pieces. All avenues and characteristics and personalities they could come up with. They create more here and there. You're one of them. And you are an integral piece of that puzzle, that bigger than life source that is bigger than the sum of its parts. But you're an integral part. And Source wanted to experience himself and herself through you, through your uniqueness, and wanted to know how your personality would react to these kind of trials and tribulations. And would you stay an addict? Would you stay addicted? Would you stay in a situation that was harmful to you? Or would you learn to love yourself just like Source does? So much that you kick that shit to the road and whatever it is that isn't serving your greater good. I didn't understand about boundaries at all. And boy, did I have a father who could walk right over them all the time and push me to no end. But I'm learning to love myself enough to say, oh no, that's not happening anymore from anyone. The way you get through this is you sit with whatever you're feeling. Whatever is being thrown at you is because something in you needs to heal. Something in you is causing your world to mirror to you who and what you are inside and what you need to heal. So if everybody's hateful towards you, what part of you are you hateful towards? What part of you are you ashamed of? What part of you are you discouraged about? Figure it out. And as you heal that, the darkness, the negativity can't keep clinging to you. Your world changes as you change. So, but during this ascension, there are levels, and it gets harder and harder, and then easier and easier. So, yes, it's a battle. It's a battle with ourselves. It's a battle to prove how much we are willing to stand up for who we are and what we are, and how much we love ourselves, and how much we respect ourselves, and how much we're willing to fight for ourselves, and know our worth with Source, and know that in the end, we are Source. When you get through all the bullshit, we're still Source. We're a part of Source, but we're an integral part. It's a part that Source created just to experience life from our viewpoint, our perspective. So I want you to, if you're going through a hard time, I want you to, anytime somebody attacks you or verbally, that kind of stuff, I want you to forgive them. And I want you to bless them to their highest good. Then I want you to sit down and I want you to think about and ask God, please show me clearly what I need to see right now to get through this, to heal. And Source will make it happen. The angels, the aliens, the saints, whatever you believe in, fairies, whatever, your ancestors, they're all real. And they're all part of Source. But they're the helpers. They're the helpers in the astral that help us find what it is in us that is scared, not feeling worthy, not hurt. We're hurt, full of pain. But right now is real important because we're ascending quickly and there's a bigger pressure put on us. Pressure to get to that, get to it. It's like, pressurizing a diamond into its perfect self. And it can be painful, and it can be worrisome. One of the things you can tell when one of these energies has attached itself to you, it'll cause anxiety. You'll feel nervous, and kind of, and make little mistakes, kind of hit your head and do this and that. And it just makes you kind of nervous. And we all write it off as anxiety. But that's not what it is. It's one of these entities that it attaches itself to us. And we need to knock it off, tell it, hey, you are not my energy. Those are not my feelings. And brush it off your energy field, and ask God and see the white light come in and bless your inside and your entire auric field. And know that some of these feelings you're getting are not yours. not to the level you're feeling them. There was a song that I learned when I was going to church. I church hopped a lot when I was young. Looking for God in all the wrong places. I found him in the backyard. Now, that's another story. My book will be out soon. But the point is, the song went like this. It's about end times, ascension. Revelations, by the way, is the revealing of truth. And that's all. It's just the revealing of truth, of what we really are. We're light beings having an experience in a physical reality. It's the only way we can, and it's the only way we can experience emotions and heartache and trauma and all that. Because when we're in our light body, we're just happy little shits, happy and joyous. And it's pretty cool. And, but anyway, here, it's just imperative that these are not all your emotions. Own up to what is yours, and then shake it off. It's going to keep trying you, because they're trying real hard to make sure you're worthy of God. If you're worthy of your ascension, your godhood. And you are. You were from the time you were thought of by Source. So, shake it off. Square your shoulders. Deep breathe. And ask God to help you see clearly what it is you need to see. But if you're getting that anxiety and that antsiness and that nervousness, I mean, I had it today. I had to shake it off. It's not yours. It's theirs. But that's their job. And like it or not, that is their job, to make us feel that way. To see how much we're willing to work towards entering that kingdom of heaven. So, what we've been told throughout history, our soul does many cycles here before it ascends. And heaven is a lot different than what we all thought. And we weren't going there all the time. We were going to the white light because that's where our soul is then recycled back through. It's a holding place. But the thing is, whatever you want to believe, it doesn't matter. What does matter is how you're feeling. And it's real important to realize these are not all your feelings. And if you're a light worker, most of them aren't your feelings at all. If they catch a hold of one feeling, they'll go through your entire mind. Everything that you've ever felt shame about, everything that you ever felt guilty about, or sorrow, or pain, or misery, they go through it. And they push, and they push, and they push until you can stand up and say, hey, that's not me. That might be you. And yes, that happened to me. But I've healed that now off my energy field. Shake it off. And you may have to take 2 or 3 showers a day. Do it. Constantly rinsing off with cold water helps. And if you can't take a shower 2 or 3 times a day, then get a ice cold little cup and pour it on the top of your head, on the crown. That'll help. It'll keep bringing you back to center, back to center. And deep breathe. When you take one deliberate deep breath, it brings you right back to center, to now. Be present at all times. If you're on alcohol or any kind of drugs, pot, anything, limit it a lot. As a matter of fact, if you can get rid of it completely, it'd be beneficial at this point. Because in this part of the game, it's real imperative that you stay conscious and stay in the present moment. It's not easy. That's why you need to get rid of the drugs and alcohol, because it is a task. But it's so worth it. Find yourself. You're a soul having a human experience. That is it. And that's all it is an experience. Let it go. Let it go and love yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive those who have trespassed against you, because it was just an experience. We wanted to know how it felt. It's not personal. None of it was ever meant to be personal. We take it personal because we're human right now. But now you need to touch into what you really are, and that's a light being, a beautiful soul having a human experience, and that's it. It's hard for a lot of you, and I know that, because it was hard for me for a while, and I'm pretty strong. But I hadn't faced any of my, they call it a shadow. The shadow, having the dark night of the soul and all that, is strictly how we feel about ourselves. That's it. And you can't fake it. You cannot fake it. So if you're having problems, ask God to make it real clear to you what it is you're feeling so that you can heal it. Where does it come from? How do I identify what is bothering me? And the angels will help. It's going to get harder before it gets better, is what I'm trying to tell you. So now it's time to buckle in. The war in space, the war in heaven, the war that comes here, this is it. And it's an internal job. Little did I know before, but I know now. So I'm passing on what I know, and that is meditate 10 to 15 minutes a day. See, I got a video on my site, so go look it up. It'll help you. You want to keep your 5 senses focused on something, and then your deep breath. And the deep breath is real important because that helps keep your final part of your mind occupied. Will you get stuck on a thought? Absolutely. That's the way your mind works. Acknowledge it, notice it, and say, oh, I'm stuck on that. It'll go away. Keep deep breathing. And you'll notice all of a sudden there's another thought and you're stuck on it. Oh, there's another one. Okay. It'll go away. And then there's another one. Until eventually, which usually takes more than 10 or 15 minutes to deep breathe, of deep breathing. I think I had to go 30 to 40 minutes on a regular basis before I hit that silence and emptiness that comes with, there are no words for it. It is beautiful to finally hit that silence where there is no mind talking and you feel your oneness with Source. It is worth the practice. So, what I'm saying is, start working at it. This was what the warriors were meant to do. There are light beings that are here that are holding the love and holding the light. Those of us that are affected by the negative thoughts, the negative reactions, what we're seeing in the universe all the time, in our world, we're only noticing the negative all the time. There's something in you that needs to be healed. Get it healed. And then make yourself focus on nothing but positive things. And if something comes up to trigger you, you need to relax, deep breathe. Don't react. Ask the universe, hey, where's this anger coming from? Where's this anger coming from? I need to know. so that you can cleanse it. Once you know where it comes from and you acknowledge it, you see it, and you witness it, it goes away. Healing done. It seems extremely difficult, and yet it's extremely easy once you get the knack of it. So get the knack of it. And toughen up. We're all tough enough to do this. So start doing it. And if you sense entities around you and you feel they're dark, you feel threatened, or you feel whatever, well, there's a fear inside of you, because you got to take care of that fear. You got to find out where that fear came from. Because I'm going to tell you something now. They can't hurt you, but they can push you with negative thoughts and negative energy to the point you think you're friggin' crazy, and you're not. But they cannot hurt you, but they can push you into hurting yourself, and that's not acceptable from any warrior I know. We're all warriors. Act like it. Get it in gear. This is the battle for your soul, and it's a big one. This school is the hardest school in the universe to pass. You gonna let it just go? Are you really gonna just let it not count? Oh no. You get up and fight. You get up and fight hard. You fight for yourself. This is a inside job, but it has to be done. And you can do it. I don't care who you are, you can do it. So get busy and start doing it. A lot of us seem to think that we can fake the emotions as if we're fine. You can't. It'll come in even harder. So, hear me when I say, you have to face it. Like it or not. Face it. Because that's when you realize it was easy to walk through. It doesn't seem like it, I know. But trust me when I say, face it. Because when this is all said and done, you'll be able to laugh and say, Jesus, I thought it would be hard. I was making it much bigger than it was. The only true sin out there, because deep down inside, most of us don't want to be a sinner. Not really. The biggest sin, though, that they don't give to you, they don't tell you what it is, and it's really the only sin, and that's not loving yourself like God does. So, get busy loving yourself. Learn how to do it. Figure it out. If you need help, contact me. All my information's in the description. But, and my email and whatnot. But, don't fake it anymore. Some of you out there are faking it, that, you feel okay. And well, that, no, we're pretty good at faking shit. Trust me, I did it a lot. And I was real good at hiding my true feelings. I would never let another human being or God know that I was hurt, or that you hurt my feelings, and that I hated you for it. I hated you for pushing me so hard, pushing on me all the time, I couldn't have boundaries. I hid every pain that I ever was given. Until one day, my soul said, stop. We aren't going any further until you address this. We have to address this because it's gotten too heavy to carry. And that's where we're all at right now. It's too heavy to carry. Our soul says no. Our vibrations wanting to rise up. We're wanting to be in joy and happiness. That's why you're being pushed so hard. It's your own soul saying, hey, wake up. I love you, and I wish you the best, whoever you are. Somebody out there really needed to hear this tonight. And I need you to know that I'm here for you. My email's in the description. And get with it. You can do this. Because as much as you're scared and ashamed and angry and full of pain and afraid where you're going to end up next, there is something so beautiful on the other side of this that cannot be explained and it cannot be expressed, but it is true freedom of your soul. And it's beautiful, and it's joyful, and it's happy. And it sees the world differently. Now it has a full load of information and possibilities and perceptions. And it understands that, yes, there's pain out there in this reality. Other realities maybe too. But there's also great depth and joy, depth of the heart with all of us. Even the crankiest old son of a bitch is out there, if you listen to them and call them on their spot, we'll lighten up. Everybody has a story. You're not the only one. We all have fallen in some form or another. But we didn't fall from grace. So talk to Spirit, talk to God, talk to Source, talk to the angels, aliens, whoever you're comfortable with. But include Source. Go to the highest on high and tell them, I want free. Help me. Because this battle is inside of you. It's inside of each of us. And the only way to win, and the only way to get through it, is by yourself. Through your mind, let God help you. Because you're worth it. And you'll understand how much you're worth once you start seeing yourself. When you start freeing yourself from your pain. You'll start seeing your parents. You'll start seeing people as people in pain. You'll start seeing the truth. That all that anger getting thrown at you right now is anger inside of you. That you are angry with your damn self. That's all. So figure it out and love yourself. Drop me an email and let me know how it's going. And if I can help in any other way, I will. I've got a meditation somewhere in my page. Go there. It's probably one of the first videos I ever did. And utilize it. I'll review it this week and see if I can add to it to give you a little more input. But make it a spiritual moment. That when you go to meditate every day, make it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, every day at the same time. Make it a spiritual ambiance or, atmosphere. This is what you're going to do. You're going to light a candle, you're going to light an incense, you're going to turn on some soft music or a fountain, some kind of water sound or something. and then, or something that's continual. And then sit and deep breathe. Focus your eye on your third eye center, which is right between your eyebrows, basically, or on a candle. But you got to have but these focuses are important. The hearing is listening to the noise, and the incense is your sense of smell. The candle is something for you to focus on, or close your eyes and focus on your third eye center. The breath is the most important. That will help focus your mind. You'll feel moments of quiet. They're moments, they're fleeting, because you won't notice them long enough until you notice you're hung up on another thought. And just acknowledge, oh, there's another thought I'm hung up on, and it goes away. Another one's going to come in. That's how your mind works. But you can train your mind eventually to come to that quiet spot. It takes time and determination. If you're going to spend any time doing anything, do this practice every day. Let the universe know, I want my freedom. I want to know what I am, who I am. And I want to feel healthy and whole again. And I want to understand where this anger comes from, and where this sorrow comes from, and this fear. Because these energies are really attacking now, very much so. And as the frequencies start rising and changing, the attacks are heavier and heavier. So buckle up for the ride of your life. But take this time to do the work. You need to. Once you get used to it, the process of working through the feelings, it goes quickly. And if you really work on yourself and really work on only looking at positive things and looking at situations and seeing if there's another way to look at it, a different perspective, I'm telling you, it'll change your world. And the world is changing. You just have to decide right now. Right now. It's real important to decide right now which world you want. Do you want heaven or hell? Because, baby, you've been living in hell. That's what this place is. And heaven is here too, but it's on a much higher frequency. So we have to build our frequency up. So start building it up. And start walking through all the trauma and the pain and the issues. And start changing your perspective. And you'll start pulling in heaven into you. Or you up to it. However you want to look at it. But work at it. Don't kill yourself. Don't keep driving yourself into the ground. Because, and don't act like you've already dealt with it. Because that's bullshit. You know how you feel inside. Deal with it. It's real. Learn to scream. If you have to go out in a car and roll all the windows up and scream your bloody head off, do it. And then let yourself cry. And cry, and cry, and cry, and cry. Let it out. Honor your tears, because your tears were built for this. To let that pain go. So cry, let it out. Give it to God. Goddess, all it is, source, whoever you want to give it to. But let it out. And then slam a door. You might have to visualize that one in your head. But slam the door to the past. Let it go. And only know that there is right now. Just right now. Right now. And right now, I feel good. Right now, I feel really good. Right now, I'm proud of myself because I just kicked one emotion to the curb that I was hanging on to. They're all negative emotions, so let them go. If you're feeling exhausted, I mean really tired, I mean, that is a particular kind of entity that is, they call them energy vampires. This isn't the kind you meet on the street and you talk to and they're stealing your energy. This is the kind that comes in astral. We're dealing with a lot of the astral plane right now, with a lot of dark energies. It's their job. They took it upon themselves to make it their job, so we can prove we're worthy of God. We were worthy the moment we were created in God's mind. So, because we are God, we're a small piece, but we're part of that. We're an integral piece, each one of us. But if you're feeling exhausted all the time, that's because there's energy vampires, and they come at when you're sleeping most of the time, but sometimes they come during the day. And you might notice that it's usually around the new moon and the full moon. It's like every 15 days they got to burnish their energy, because they exist on our energy. And that's the other thing. The reason we've been held up so long for ascension is because they've made it 10 times or 1,000 times harder for us to ascend, because they like having us here, because they feed off of our energy. That's how they exist over and over and over again. So, get your warrior, get your God's armor on, and fight for yourself. You're worth it. We all are. And I love you. So my prayers are with the collective. This has been a tough road to hoe, and it's not over. And as soon as you get your healing done, you start holding the light and love into the planet, all the way to the central sun in the center of the universe. And you hold it. And you hold it like you've never held anything before. We're winning this one. I don't care what anybody says. We're winning. So work together. Find friendships that are willing to learn and help each other. And Godspeed with all of it. Lori, here at A Voice in the Dark on YouTube. Talk to you later. Bye.